Hi guys. So another really nice place that I like to read is just me cuddled up on the couch with Harley and Bella who've come to join us for reading today. So I'm thinking they're going to be quiet because they're both sleeping, but we'll see. So we are on chapter 3, How to Talk with an Alien. Hospitals can be a strange places, especially at night. Odd things happen in the dark hours. Last night I was visited by a creature from another world. Her name is Maisie, which is an unusual name for an alien. She didn't tell me herself. In fact, she didn't say anything the whole time she was here, but she was definitely from another world. I don't mean a world in our own solar system, and I don't mean our galaxy, not even our universe. She is from a completely different universe. In fact, quite probably where she comes from isn't even called a universe. It's probably called Quanknik. And her planet is probably known as Pling or something. Who knows? At any rate, she's definitely an alien and she was under my bed. I have no idea how she got there. Maybe she teleported herself. It was an evening and Acne Man had been in and pulled the curtains. Princess Lala and Liam slid further down their beds. Lucky Watsits. If only I could do that. But of course, I'm not allowed to move. Just in case you'd forgotten. Sorry to keep going on about it, but you try lying on your back for 4 weeks. Bet you can't even manage 5 minutes. I don't like to complain, and I'm not complaining. I'm stating a fact of my life. I lay in bed in the semi-dark watching cows that weren't really there fly across the ceiling. Then out of the corner of my eye, I saw a head appear beside me, low down, right at bed level. It was an orange head. It kind of levitated up and just appeared there, hovering at my side, staring at me. So I yelled, as you do when you've had a nasty shock. Ah! That woke everyone, including Princess Lala. Good. The lights went on. Acne Man came pounding across. What's up? It was Jack, Princess Lala. He screamed. Are you all right, Jack? Was it your leg? No, I thought I saw. I paused. I don't know why, but I didn't want to say I think I'd just seen an orange space creature hovering at the side of my bed. So I told him I'd had a dream. Maybe I had. Don't have it again, sniffed Princess Lala. You woke me up. I don't know what my dreams I'm going to have, I said. You're such a pain, she groaned, turning on her side again. She does that on purpose, turning on her side. She knows I'd love to be able to do that, but I'm not allowed. So when she does it, she looks straight at me, all ha-ha like, and flounces over with a big display of bed covers and everything. Then she snuggles down with a big sigh of satisfaction. Ugh, I'd like to see her fly across the ceiling. On the other hand, I'm glad I'm not allergic to food and have to eat the slop she's given. Acne Man switched off the lights and went back to his desk. I couldn't sleep. I couldn't even close my eyes. I thought the alien might come back. I kept my face turned towards where she appeared before. Liam started his hamster impressions. He often does that when he's asleep. You can always tell when Liam's dreaming because he starts quietly squeaking like a hamster. I'm surrounded by weirdos, I'm telling you. I must have shut my eyes because something touched my ear and I almost screamed again. There was an alien, only this time I could see it was actually a girl's head. Obviously, the head hadn't come on its own. Presumably, there's a body attached to it, but the rest of her was out of sight. And the reason I thought she was orange, because she had a massive ginger curls flaming all over her head like some Hollywood disaster movie. She grinned at me and put her finger to her lips. Who are you? I whispered. She waggled her eyebrows. Great, another weirdo. Where did you come from? She slowly turned her face upwards and stared towards the ceiling. Up there, she nodded. The next floor up. She shook her head. Higher, she nodded again. Top floor, shake, shake. Above that, nod, nod. Above the earth, nod, nod. I grinned. Beyond the moon, nod, nod. From another planet. Now she nodded like mad. Then her eyes went all squiffy like a cross-eyed twit, and her tongue came out of her mouth. More and more of it. And then her ears waggled. Okay, now tell me really, which ward are you on? The alien looked horrified and cross too. Have I upset you? Because I don't believe you. She nodded. Okay, I believe you. You're from another planet. But why don't you speak to me? Why don't you say anything? She frowned, keeping her eyes on mine, but she wouldn't say anything and her lips were pressed tightly together. She simply carried on staring at me like her eyes were trying to bore into my brain to see what I was thinking. What I was thinking was, this girl is off this planet. I gave up. Okay, I shrugged. Don't speak to me. See if I care. I gazed round the gloomy ward to show her how much I didn't care. I must have lasted about 5 seconds. Oh, for heaven's sake, say something, I hissed. But the alien slowly shook her head. Okay, have it your own way. I'm going to guess your name, and you nod if I get it right. Sarah, shake. Jasmine, shake. Montana, shake. I was already getting fed up. There must be 1,000 girls' names. I could still be doing this next year. Time to speed things up. Fart face. Ow! I'd been punched by an alien. I was about to complain when her eyes suddenly widened and she darted out of sight. I heard Acne Man's chair scrape back. The lights went up a bit, and he was coming down towards my bed, followed by the young nurse I hadn't seen before. That's where you got to, you monster, he muttered, trying not to disturb the others. Kathy's been searching for you everywhere. She's not a monster, whispered the nurse, smiling. Hiya, Maisie. What are you doing down here? The nurse looked at me, raised her eyebrows, and made a kind of whatever will Maisie do next face. I shrugged back at her, and she smiled again. I'm Kathy, one of Maisie's nurses from upstairs. We're supposed to keep an eye on her, but sometimes she manages to give us the slip. I nodded. She seemed nice, Kathy. She had twinkly eyes and a crinkly smile. Acne Man stood there with his arms folded, watching. She didn't bother you, I hope, Kathy asked, and I shook my head. She gave me a surprise. Yes, she's good at that, said Kathy. We'll never get her out, complained Acne Man. She's right underneath the bed. Kathy knelt down beside the bed and called softly. Come on, Maisie. The nurse stretched out her hand. The orange head reappeared almost at once. Maisie's eyes pinpointed Acme Man and burned. She slipped her hand into Kathy's. Night, laughed Kathy, while Maisie threw a glance back at me, eyes crossed, tongue flapping, and they went paddling off. Night, I smiled, with Acne Man grunted and gazed after them, sighed again, and turned his evil eye on me. It would be a good idea if you didn't encourage her, he suggested. How is this my fault? I've never seen her before in my life. I didn't ask her to come here. She just arrived. Yeah, right, of course she did, he sneered. Who is she, anyway? What's wrong with her? Acne Man stared over towards the door as if the alien was still there. Maisie's on a ward above, he said crossly. She's in for observation. Observing what? Just in for observation, he repeated. It's none of your business. It's doctor's business, and you're not a doctor. Now go back to sleep. He turned down the lights and turned to his desk. I made grumpy face at him at his back. Honestly, some people, pardon me for breathing. I let my head sink back onto the pillow. In the darkness, I felt a smile creep over my face. It slid down on my shoulders and chest and carried on trickling down my body right to my toes, until it felt like my whole body was smiling. What a little mystery. Something odd is going on, and whatever it is, I'm sure it won't be too long before I see Maisie again. She's definitely a weirdo. Right, guys, that was the end of that chapter. Bella is now completely asleep and snoring, whereas Harley is at least up and listening. Anyway, I shall see you back in class. Bye.